Whether you've been searching for a viable meta build, just wanted to screw around and have fun, or maybe you despise Willbender and want something that will make him fold like a launcher. Either way, Daddy's got you covered. Power Stance Berserker is a peculiar build combining mobility, burst and sustained damage of Greatsword, Shortsword and Offhand Axe with borderline unreasonable durability of Stance Warrior. This build is primarily made for PvP and it performs there well enough to let me, self-proclaimed worst warrior ever with 2 left hands, to reach Platinum. Outside of PvP, build performs well enough in most scenarios, only lagging behind in 10-man PvE content and mass-scale WvW battles. Stat-wise, we go for Marauder Amulet, Relic of Antitoxin, Rune of Eagle, and Sigils of Exposure and Battle on Sword Axe, as well as Intelligence and Cleansing on Two-Hander. In WvW, we mimic that setup as closely as possible. Skill-wise, we run Defiant, Balanced and Berserker stances, and do Pain and Headbutt. Trait-wise, Defense, Discipline, Berserker, with 3-1-1 in Defense, 2-3-1 in Discipline, and 3-2-3 in Berserker. We run Cool the Weak because both Flurry and Flaming Flurry are multi-hitting attacks, which means each subsequent hit after the first is guaranteed to benefit from damage increase. Defy Pain puts lesser undue pain on every cast of Headbutt, which is strong even on its own due to Headbutt's laughably short cooldown. Last Stand makes our every stance grant Vigor and Barrier on top of prolonging their duration. With how powerful stances are, this makes you fucking invincible! Axe Mastery grants overwhelming amounts of adrenaline, so long you hit critically frequently. In Tooltip you can see 2 adrenaline per hit, however that is bonus adrenaline, not total adrenaline. Dual Strike, if critting with both hits, grants 6 adrenaline, that is 3 per hit. This is why Whirling Axe generates so much adrenaline, often going over the cap even against singular opponent, let alone multiple. That is also partially why we run Hit the Soul instead of Blood Reaction. Critically hitting more consistently is more beneficial than critting harder but less consistently. Further than this, Arcing Slice alone isn't good enough source of fury, as we don't have access to it whilst in rage and while using other weapon sets. However, if we are running in Havoc group or in duo with teammate that can reliably provide fury, feel free to go for Blood Reaction. Weapon trivia that deserves a little bit of explanation is Main Hand Sword, specifically why we use it instead of Axe. And the answer is, it's literally better in every category. Not only you get access to Savage Leap, the best movement skill in Warrior's arsenal, and yes, I'll gladly die on this hill, but also we get Final Thrust, aka the only one that matters. This skill hits extra hard against low health opponents, playing the role of your win button when needed, and having the same cooldown as Dual Strike just makes Sword Axe combo that little bit juicier. To top it all off, Flurry is 100 blades she tells you not to worry about. It deals comparable damage while also having Bleed and Immobilize on it, while it also doesn't sell you bloody kneecaps on Russian black market every time you press the bloody button. On top of that, Flaming Flurry is even better, boasting respectable damage, 900 range and ability to fire it in any direction in relation to wherever you're facing, so you can go in any direction, even away from your target, and still feed him a mouthful of flames. And if it wasn't enough, this skill also blocks projectiles. Sword skills are nuts to the point of attracting squirrels.
I'll fight you for it.
Our overall goal in any given fight is to shave off top half of enemy health bar with our throwaway damage, which is lawnmower moves and bursts, closing in for a kill when enemy needs that 50%, as swift dual strike into Final Thrust will often skip that lower half entirely, granting a swift takedown, or putting enemy in range of getting downed by any other skill at our disposal, whether that be one of our ranged options, our gap closers, or multi-hitting pressure tools. In short, we are good at securing takedowns, and we can overwhelm defenses of classes like Thief or Guardian, which depend on blindness, aegis and soft blocks. Which doesn't mean we fare poorly into classes depending on hard block or evasion to avoid taking damage. Our pressure is unrelenting, with total of 4 multi-hitting options which can be used on repeat one after another, and for duration of our stances we can pressure without fearing retaliation. To top that, thanks to Vigo uptime, we can dodge frequently, and even in our worst matchups in whole PvP, which are Condi Necro builds bypassing majority of our defenses, we can still chunk them severely. And against opponents that out-sustain our damage, like Bladesworn or Tank Druid, we can hold node in 1v1 infinitely. We can also survive 1v2s and even win them occasionally, while in teamfights we can soak up pressure and answer with some of our own, whilst still being able to pick off stragglers that drop below half. This build isn't extremely broken, as it is on the lower side of damage spectrum. Our damage isn't high, but it never stops coming, and that is its major selling point. We only have real best against people below half health, as outside of that, only Arc Divider can surprise anyone with its damage numbers. We don't have a kill combo, like Soulbeast, Scrapper or Chrono have, and that's for the best, as build this durable doesn't deserve more damage. The durability though isn't nerf worthy either, as we can only ignore damage for 14 seconds in a row, while having 40 and 30 seconds of cooldown on our most dependable skills. You'll need to improvise in every fight, either aiming to end it as soon as possible or to buy time in between stance uses, even to the point of turning rage on and off again merely for stability and feel no pains. With our stances, our mobility, and our storm of paper cuts, we are the fastest lawnmower in the West. And even though we are far from being the biggest fish in the stew, we aren't out of water either, as we at least have a chance against every build we can't run from, and we can outrun those we cannot beat. And with a little practice, open mind and stubborn defiance, you can go as far as to platinum with this very build, encapsulating the ancient Roman saying, "When in doubt, embrace cancer." Crabface out.